Welcome, everybody, to It Tastes Different Gaming News. What's on the news today? Nintendo files a new patent. Is it a new system? Let's find out. So, Nintendo recently filed a patent for a dual screen detachable device, with the Switch 2 being the worst kept secret. Every patent leak that comes out right now, everybody, oh, it's the Switch 2, it's the Switch 2. So, let's dive in. So reports of a Switch's successor has been going around for freaking ever. And a recent patent has come out. It looks an awful lot like the 3DS of a dual screen system that will separate. So they give your Switch, you close it, you open it, you separate. That's what it's supposed to look like. Now, whether or not this is the Switch 2, I would really be remiss to believe that. But this group has also hoped that a new Nintendo comes out, it'll be a dedicated console, not a handheld hybrid. Granted, I love the Switch, don't get me wrong, but it's dead. I mean, it's just dead. So, jumping a little bit more here. The recent patent looks an awful lot like a 3DS that can be split in half. The two separate halves communicate with each other wirelessly, without wire, allowing two gamers to play together on the same device. While connected, the two halves play together like a DS or 3DS. Interestingly enough, there is also a touchscreen on the outside of the console, which allows gamers to interact with the handheld even when it's closed. I don't know what the hell you're going to do, but hey. If the device does come out, it could possibly be a new dedicated portable, the way it looks and reads to my eyes. Nintendo has not really shied away from the Switch 2 rumors, and they've been going around for a long time. The most recent and consistent rumors are the Switch 2 is going to be a Switch 2. It will be another hybrid. Possibly, I believe the last rumor I heard was around the power level of the PS4. So that's something. But I do not like the ideal of that. The device appears to be handheld only. So it's probably most likely, in which these leaks typically are, a possible future ideal or whatnot. I mean, Nintendo patented a finger reader thing for the Switch 20 years ago. So I ain't never stuck my finger in nothing Nintendo yet. So it's pretty interesting ideal though, because the Nintendo Switch, when it was originally announced, you could, according to all the commercials, you and 5 of your friends could sit in a circle and wirelessly play against each other right off of your Switches, not just online. And this seems like it's kind of what they're going for. Whether or not 2 or 4 or 6 of these things together work together, I don't know. And most likely this thing will never come to fruition, as a lot of these patents really never do. So, but it's a neat ideal. I don't believe it's going to be a Switch 2. Maybe a Switch 3, but let's go to Nick and find out what he thinks. Nick, do you want to rip your console in half and share it with your friend?
It's raining. Yes, that makes sense, right? And it even goes with the Switch 2, right? Instead of, we got the Switch, which is a single device. Switch 2 is 2 switches stuck together. Genius. So, I mean,
marketing writes itself.
It does. How about, hey guys, I got an idea. We take 2 of these, we put them together. Wow. How do you do that?
Johnson, how do you come up with these duct tape?
How do you come up with these things? Like peanut butter and jelly. Yeah, it's a cool idea, I guess. it'd be like you said, a bunch of switches around in a circle to play with your friends or something. This would be like, instead of your friend having to own a Switch, you can be like, well, here's half of mine. And then we play, and then we play a game. Right. And I'm wondering if, yeah, I agree with you though, that, this was, a patent that they do this stuff all the time, but a patent that they put out there and it'll probably never come to fruition. This might have been something that they were thinking of, because they might be thinking of doing like we've kind of wanted, where a dedicated console and then having a handheld separately, right? And this might be something they were thinking of, and then having the ability to fold it. Because I was thinking like fold it and then be able to use the touchpad on the back. What would be the purpose of that? But if it connects to if you could connect the handheld to your Switch 2 and use the touchpad to interact with the interface of whatever game you're playing, right, with the Switch 2, maybe it has buttons, like, even though it's a touchpad, you could have like on-screen buttons, like a mobile phone, right? In that sense, where, like this is where the stick is and these are where the buttons are, right? Where you could press things, or maybe you could use that in something like they do with amiibos, where you touch the amiibo to it. But in this case, with the touchscreen, maybe it's kind of like similar to how PlayStation has a touchscreen on the controller, right? It could be used in games for certain things. If you have the portable, hey, you have it next to you, you can tap it to bring the map up or some crap like that, right? Some stupid crap like that. But I don't know. Like folding it inward where the screens, for my idea, is like it's folding it inward where the screens are touching each other, and then you can use the outside touchpad. That's what I'm like, what would that be used for? Like, you can't see it, so what would it be used for? I don't know. Unless you could detach one side and then use the touchpad on the other side as a controller, right? As like a touch controller.
That's
like,
didn't Steam
Steam
controller
had
have
something
something like that?
and they had like a little pad on there, but yes, the pad had different sections that you could correspond to different buttons and various things like that. So you could do something similar to that, where it's a virtual controller, right? Kind of like your phone does, where if you play a game, it has the buttons on the screen. You could basically line that up the same way to a touchpad, if the touchpad's big enough, where you could move the stick and hit the buttons just by tapping in certain sections of the touchpad, right? You could definitely do something like that. I don't know if anybody would want to play that way necessarily, but it's a possibility. I don't think this is a Switch 2 either. At least I hope not. I really don't. It's a cool idea, but I think this is more like a patent for, maybe for a Switch 2 concept, maybe for a portable concept. But a lot of places, a lot of companies patent a lot of things, a lot of ideas in case they want to use them later on. But, they patent them and then they never end up doing anything with the patent, and then the patent eventually expires. Or, if they renew it, they might do something with it. They're thinking of ideas. And if they don't renew it, then it was an idea that they thought of. They went to patent it so no one else could take the idea. And then they decided, screw it. And then it never went anywhere. And the patent expires and that's the end of it. Right. So who knows? Who knows? Companies do this all the time. A lot of game companies do this. Microsoft, Sony, Nintendo, they all do this stuff all the time. If you look at the number of patents that I'm sure all three of the companies have, there's probably a ton for a lot of different stuff. Because they have to, companies have to patent their ideas. So that way, if that idea ends up becoming a thing, no one else can steal that idea while they're thinking of the concept and thinking about how they're going to make whatever patent or concept that they're thinking of work, right? So I don't think this will end up being anything. It's like you said in the documentation, it says it's into handheld only. So it sounds like it doesn't have the capabilities to dock, which I would assume, with the Switch 2, if it is a portable, like the Switch 1 is, I would assume they're still going to keep the ability to dock it, right? I don't think they would take that away. Because, not everybody plays their Switch in handheld mode. And I think Nintendo knows that. They probably have done polls and things like that and seen what a majority of people do, whether they do a hybrid of things, handheld and docked, or whether permanently docked or permanently handheld. And they probably know enough to go, okay, there's a large amount of people that keep it docked all the time. And so, with the Switch 2, we couldn't get rid of that. So who knows? I mean, it looks neat from the designs. They show the designs of it, and maybe they just weren't in the design pattern, but in the front of the device, it looks like it may only have a possible analog stick and nothing else. That could just be in the design plans. I don't know if you have to add the buttons and stuff like that, but I mean, the analog stick or whatever that is, it almost looks like an analog or maybe just a power button. I'm not sure. That's the only thing on there. So it's like, I wonder if it would be fully touch, right? Whereas the back touchpad is acting as a controller, and maybe the front is touch as well, where you basically touch where the buttons would be, right? Everybody knows where the buttons would be if they laid out like a regular controller. I don't know. I mean, because they don't have that in the detail in the image, but I don't know if that needs to be included in the patent, right? To have that, I'm not 100% sure on that stuff.
Yeah, I'm not sure exactly how much detailed information they need, but if you'll notice, the only images we have so far is basically, it looks to be a closed version of the console and then an open version. But if you'll notice, Nick, the first figure says FIG 0.1, and then the next figure, FIG 0.25. So we're missing a lot of information, obviously. But yeah, I mean, I see exactly what you're saying. And if that is just a single stick, now if you look, though, it does look like it has triggers on the underside.
I was wondering that too. I don't know if that's the triggers or if that's the attachment of the top one. Kind of going around the base. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. If you look at the top image, Joe, you can still see it in the closed position.
Yeah, but that could be the hinge.
And that is true.
So
we could just be making shit up.
We could be totally making things up. Who knows?
But one thing I thought about, and I have zero confidence in this imagination of mine. It could be doing something similar to Sony's brilliant idea with their portable. So Sony's PS5. No, you don't need to use the backbone because they have a dedicated portable now. Maybe that's what they're doing here. Maybe the Switch 2 will actually be a dedicated console, and this will be your portable version. You can stream to that handheld. That would be a piece of crap, but it'd be kind of cool.
And you could give the other half to a friend.
Yes, you're so
on
a Greyhound bus.
To 2 devices.
You're on a Greyhound bus going to grandma's house.
Yeah.
Call your mom, tell her to turn on your Nintendo. You and your buddy are going to stream them. And then as you guys buffer your way to Georgia,
you spend more time looking at degraded pixels on the screen, and it just can't. The lag is horrible, and you're like, "We're having fun." No, you're not.
It's like trying to watch porn at your parents' house in the 80s.
It's like watching porn in Netscape. Slowly come in. There it is. There's the image.
And by the time you see any kind of visible body part, here comes mom. Oh, shit. Click. Off.
But your computer's too slow. It's not working.
Nick, was that a breast assist I saw?
So unplug it from the wall. Nope, that was my science homework.
Ah, crap. I didn't need to pass. But it's an interesting idea. It's some interesting thoughts you can have about this. Is it the Switch to 999% chance? Hell's to the no. But if it is, I'll probably actually skip this generation of Nintendo.
Yeah, I'm ready to see what the Switch 2 is, and if you're watching this video, there will be a link down in the description to this article where you can look at what we're looking at. So you know that we're not just making things out of thin air. Our assumptions on what it is are out of thin air, but the actual images are there. The two GIFs that they have. So,
yep,
are figures.
Yep. Our bull crap usually has some sort of methodology to it. So, but it's an interesting thought. I definitely don't want it. I want a dedicated Nintendo console now. That's what I want. That's what I've been wanting.
Yeah, I do too. Go back if they want to, go back to a dedicated console and a handheld. I didn't have a problem with that.
Nobody did.
I had a 3DS and a Wii, and then I didn't get a Wii U till after they were no longer making Wii U's. But I wish I would have, because, truthfully, I really like the Wii U.
I did too.
I think it's a great console, and the games look really nice on there.
The
it's
portable,
a nice looking.
The portable screen looks good.
Yeah,
you can use your.
I was playing Twilight
Wii's or whatever the hell
the
they
Wii
call
U
them.
version of Twilight Princess on there, and I'm like, this game looks really nice.
It does
on here on the Wii U.
Yeah, and Monster Hunter looked really good on there too. So
I have that game too. I haven't tried it, but
it looks good.
And then Wind Waker looks good on there too. So
Man, I need to set mine back up. I liked mine, but
yeah, I play my Wii U occasionally. I'll get on Twilight Princess and it's backwards compatible with your Wii games. So
yes,
if you have a bunch of Wii games,
all of that garbageware.
Yes, if you have a bunch of Wii games, I would go out and see if you can find yourself a Wii U, pick it up, and then you could play the Wii U games and the Wii games.
Yep, the Wii U probably lasts a lot better than the Wii did. So physically, not falling apart and crap. But no, it was a great console. It really was. The problem with it was just Nintendo. Bad marketing. They didn't really tell people there was an actual difference between the two. Grandma and Grandpa got really confused at the nursing home. My grandpa took somebody out with his because he couldn't find an nunchuck. But anyways, it's a cool thought. I love rambling about it, but I think we're going to call her quits on this topic. Nick, do you have anything else?
Nope. It's cool.
It's cool.
That's probably all there is to it.
That'll be the name of the console. The Nintendo It's Cool. All right. Well, you made it to the end. As always, thank you for listening. Give us your thoughts, feelings, comments, all that good stuff. How full of crap do you think we are in our assumptions? Do you think we're a little bit close? Let us know what you think. Do not hesitate to hit subscribe, because that's how we know we're friends and we like friends. But until next time, see ya.